Hey everyone, it's JP. So here is the bracelet for today. I think it came out really nice, really simple design. This is going to be so easy, and if you've got a ton of Superduos, this is going to be so much fun to make. And it's another fun gift idea, so if you just are doing handmade gifts this year, this is a good one. All you're going to need are Superduos and 11s, and of course, some type of clasp of your choice, and some fireline. So I'm using 6-pound fireline, and you're going to need 2 beading needles because we're going to use a 2-needle technique to make the bracelet. So let's go with the colors. So the colors of the seed beads are just my galvanized silver from Miyuki. You can also use Tohos. Tohos will work perfectly with these. You can use whatever combination of Superduos that you want. You could do 1 color or you can do 2. Here I did 3, so here's a small mini sample that I did with 2 colors using black and white beads. So same idea, I was just trying to see how it would look, just to give you an idea of what to do. If you're doing 2 colors, this is one way to do it. You can alternate lots of different ways. But the 3 colors that I have here, so this is pastel light rose, this is violet, and this is metallic suede purple. And those are my colors. Let's get started. So to start with is you are going to thread both ends of your needle. So you'll need 2 needles to do this. And then what you're going to do is pick up 3 11 seed beads and bring them to the center of the thread. Then pick up a Superduo. So you're going to go into one hole with 1 needle, and then with the other, go into the other hole. With the other needle, go into the other hole. Just like that, and I'm going to hold my 2 needles together and bring it all down into the center. So, just like that, the 3 seed beads should sit on one side of the Superduo. And then go ahead and pick up 1 Superduo with 1 needle, and then another Superduo with the other needle. So 1 of each this time. And just push those down. Then to continue, I'm going to switch over to the next color. And again, this time I'm actually just going to pick up 1, and it's going to go through 1 needle and then the other. And just bring those down. And you should get this. And now we're just gonna, basically you're gonna be repeating the pattern of adding 1 Superduo versus adding 2. That's it. So, and once again, I am going to pick up a Superduo with this one, and then a second Superduo with the other one, and just push those down. And this time pick up a Superduo, just 1, and you want to go through the Superduo with both needles in this case. Push everything down, and then just, this is what you get. Just like that. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a Superduo each with the needles. And just to show you what that looks like, I'm just going to bring this down, and then for the next one, I'm going to pick up just a single one, and I'm starting back with my original color. So if you happen to be working with 3 colors like I am, you're just going to be alternating back and forth with the beads. And so we're back to the original, or the starting color. So in this case, my darker purple. And then again, I'm going to pick up 1 of each this time. And just kind of push those down. And then I'm going to go through both needles with this next one. So it's 1, and then 2, and then 1, and 2. And that's it. That's a very simple, straightforward pattern. and you should get something like this, which I think comes out really pretty, especially when you're combining multiple colors like this. It's going to look great. So this time, to stick with our pattern, you're going to pick up one of each, and just one, not two. Oh, hold on, got my tail wrapped around my tripod here, or my thread rather, not the tail. There we go. So it's tricky working with two threads on camera. And now it's time for the light pink or lilac color. These look very pink right now, or I guess depends on the lighting. On camera I think they look more lilac, which is what they are. They're a lilac. Anyway, and there you have it. So there's my pattern, and I'm just going to keep going. So this is actually very straightforward and easy. You just want to keep going until you get the length that you desire. And then I'm going to show you how to make the ear, or not the ear, the clasp loop, and how to finish off the sides. So just keep going. Okay, so if you've been building your bracelet, this is what you should have. So, all right, so you want to make sure you end with a single Superduo. You don't want to end on the double Superduos like I have here. So you want to make sure that this is where you end. And what you're going to do is grab one of the needles, it doesn't matter which side you do, and you're going to set aside the other one. So I'm going to work, and what I'm going to do now is pick up 3 11s and go into the second hole. So this is the needle I'm working with, this thread that I'm holding up. It's the one on the bottom in the screen. And just going into the second hole of the Superduo here. So, and if anything gets loose, just tug on your threads from both needles and just tighten it up. Now what you're actually going to do is come back around, so you're just going to go underneath, you're just going it back into the first hole of the Superduo where the thread was originally coming out of. Just like so. And again, just make sure you tighten everything so you don't have any gaps in your thread. So once you've done that, what you're going to do is go through just the first 2 11s. Just like this, pick up 4 11s and go back around your 11 in the middle there. Just like so, and I'm just going to turn this and move that kind of away so you can just, hopefully that doesn't confuse you. Go through that first 11, then pick up an 11 and go into the next one, then pick up an 11 and go into the next one. So if you're familiar with, if you've been watching my videos, you'll know I'm doing the diamond pattern that I do all the time for my clasp loops. And one more time, you are going to pick up an 11 and then just go into the next 2 11s there. And there's that diamond pattern. Now to continue, what you want to do is just go into this next 11, and don't worry, we are going to reinforce, but I'm going to use the other thread in a minute to do that. Now for this next part, pick up 3 11s and go into the Superduo that is sitting out. Just like this. So this is what you should have on one side. Now I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to go ahead and switch to this other needle over here. And so this thread is, if you can see from on this side, it's coming out of just that purple Superduo. And so what I'm going to do is actually go through those 3 11s that were sitting on that Superduo. But first, before I go through that third one, I'm actually going to go ahead and reinforce this loop too. So just go into these 2. And so I actually went ahead and went into the third one up there, just to, since the needle was going, I just let it go. And so there I am. And now I'm just going to go through these beads. I'm not adding anything. I am just going through them to reinforce. And you may have to do this 2 beads at a time. Okay, so I'm coming out of this, whoops, sorry, so you can see that better and not get blended with the beads on the mat here. So I'm coming out of this one. I'm going to go through these last 2. Then go through that third Superduo on that side. So see where I'm coming out of? And now pick up 3 11s and come out of this Superduo over here. And so here's what I've got. So now I've got both sets, and all you have to do now is just, doesn't matter which side you do, just go ahead and add 11s all the way down each side. So you can do that one side at a time, or you can do every few. But basically what I'm going to do here is pick up an 11. I'm going to work on the side on the top. So this is the side I'm going to work on. I'm going to pick up an 11 and I'm just going to go into the next Superduo here that's open. Just like so, and keep going to the next one. So going from my dark purple and then back to the lilac. And just make sure the thread doesn't wrap. And there it is, very simple, straightforward, easy to do. You're just adding the 11s in between. And so you just want to keep going until you get to the end over here, and then I will show you how to make the other loop on this side. So, and then you're going to do the same thing for the other side. So I've got my other needle. So I stopped after 4, but you just want to keep going until you finish one side, and then pick up the second needle, pick up an 11, and go into the next Superduo. And then just repeat, pick up an 11, go into the next one. And you're going to work your way down to the end. So I'll be back as soon as I get both sides completed. Alright, so once you've added the seed beads to both sides of your bracelet, this is where you should have. And now what you're going to do is put aside one of the needles, and we're going to work with one, and then we'll go ahead and work with the other one. So first thing I'm going to do is pick up 3 11s, and I'm going to go ahead and, so this is where I'm coming out of. This is the end of my thread. I'm going to go through the first 2 seed beads. Just like that, and that's going to be the end. Then I'm going to pick up 4 11s, and I'm going to go through that middle, that seed bead where the thread's exiting, so it's going to be in the middle of this original group of 3 here. So it's 1, 2, and 3. That's the third one. So 1, 2, and 3. And so just go back through that. And I'm going to try to move this thread out of the way so you can really kind of not get that, keep that out of the way. So now all I did was just turn the work over so I can work from the left. So I'm going to go through the first 11. I'm not adding any beads at this point. I've got the group that 4, so I'm just going to go ahead and go through the first. And then now I am going to pick up an 11. And I'm going to go through the next 11. So we're just making that other diamond pattern just like we did before. Pick up an 11, go into the next one. And last time, pick up an 11 and go into the next one. Or the next 2. And this is what you should get. And now go ahead and go through this last 11 there. And then we're just going to work our way down. So I'm not going to worry about reinforcing because we're going to use the second thread and reinforce the whole thing with the second thread. So go ahead and pick up 3 11s and go into the Superduo. And also the 11. Just like so, and then, make sure this is tight, so just give that a little tug. And then what I'm going to do is actually weave it a little bit further down. And I just went through the Superduo and the 11 there, and I'm going to tie a 1/2 inch knot. So, between the 11 and the Superduo. And then I'm just going to go down a few more. So once again, just going down a few and I'm going to tie a second knot. And between this 11 and Superduo now. And now it's just time to weave the thread away. So, and you can tie a third knot if you want, but I think we're good. It's going to be secure. So I'm just going to weave this, or I'm just going to go ahead and trim this side now. That's good to go. So one less thread to worry about. Now for this side, all I'm going to do is just go back up through all the beads and reinforce. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through the next 4 or 5 beads, well 5, because that brings me right at the center bead where this loop is connected. And I'm just going to flip that so I can work this way, but all I'm doing is reinforcing this loop now. So just go through the beads about 2 at a time, or however many you want to go through. Usually it works well for me to go through them 2 at a time. And the last 2 here. And then just down the beads here on the side that are just framing the Superduos there at the top. Having a little trouble getting my needle through. This bead is right next to the other one, so there. I got it. And then just go down a couple of these, and I'm just going to tie a 1/2 inch knot. So I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot here. And then go ahead and go through some of these beads and tie another one. Okay, that is done. So I am now going to trim this one. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and grab my jump ring and add that in inside the loop. And then just close off my jump ring. Okay, so here is the finished bracelet. I went ahead and already added in the jump ring and the clasp over here, my lobster claw, and there you go. Isn't this gorgeous? Well, I hope you guys liked this tutorial, and if you did, please like and subscribe so you can see more of my tutorials. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.